We were trying to figure out where this Cars and Coffee is before the event today, but we found a 911R and a Carrera GT. So this is how we are starting our day, and I am pretty sure they know where we're going. So all we gotta do is keep up. Oh my God. Look at that. CGT 911R. Now we are talking. So thanks to a CGT and a 911R, we have found the Cars and Coffee that we were looking for, and oh man, is it a good turnout. Let's go check some cars out. Starting off, we got the VinWiki Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport, and let's go check out, because I see a yellow CGT over there. Great plate, EB, let's go, just like the steering wheel. But I see a yellow CGT. We got your boys over here, R34 just over there.
Millennium Jade could be a nerd too, we never know.
Let's go check it out. I don't know what it is, but let's go check it out. Okay, so we got a nice little Nissan here. Kyle, what are we looking at?
Well, R34 GTR clearly, but Millennium Jade is a very desirable color. Synonymous with the nerd tunes, so that's a big one. I don't know if it is an official nerd tune. It can be hard to tell sometimes, a lot of replicas, but it is very cool. We've got the Nismo LM wheels down there too, the classic 5-spoke. Ready aftermarket brakes, which is very nice. I don't know, man, it's a clean example. Not bad, not bad. There you heard it from 6 cars, but got a pretty nice GT3 RS right here, 992 next to a 991.2 and another 992 at the end. But I feel like this is not the type of car show where you waste time on GT3 RSs, because there is some serious cars out here. We're gonna go check it out. Now here is something you do not see every day. This is not a regular Ford GT. This is a GTX1. I believe they've made like 36, 38 of these. What this pretty much is a convertible Ford GT. Now, I believe there's different ways you can have the roof on. You can either have it like a regular Ford GT, or you can have it just run down the middle like a T-top, or like this, which is what I would do if I had one of these cars with the full roof on and the back end look completely different. You got this little window here for the engine, and man, GTX ones are so rare. I think I've maybe seen another 1 or 2 in my whole life. So he is gonna move over there next to another Ford GT, but this thing sounds so good, the GTX one. And correction, it's actually 28 cars made, not 38. So from one non-striped Ford GT, that GTX one, to a white regular Ford GT. I don't know if I've ever seen a white no stripe Ford GT. I think this is probably one of the only ones. Looks really, really cool. And the Tuatara just showed up, which is, again, as much as I don't like the car, there's not a lot of places we can just be like, oh yeah, and the Tuatara just showed up. Now this is a very serious car show, because Senna GTR pulling up right over there. But if we turn around right here, yellow Carrera GT, you don't ever see yellow Carrera GTs. This is super cool to see. Then I don't believe this is a real car. I think it's a replica, but GT2, who knows though. We got a 997.1 GT3 RS, and of course we know the 993 Carrera RS very, very well on this channel, but this blue looks incredible. Another 930 turbo next to it. I mean, the lineup just goes on and on and on and on. Now, if you like Mercedes, this is a lineup for you. We got the G650 Landaulet, the V12 Maybach G-Wagon with the convertible back seat, and next to that, the Mercedes McLaren SLR with the front engine cover open. These things are so cool. The only thing is with these, if your engine cover breaks, you got to spend like $70,000 to fix it. This car is so expensive, and the reason the values of these have not skyrocketed like, you know, Carrera GTs and Ferrari Enzos is because the amount of money you got to spend on maintenance is almost Bugatti Veyron level for a car like this, and that's kind of what's keeping the value of these cars a little bit lower. But maintenance costs don't really have an effect when it's a car like this, where it's a V10 with a manual transmission, open top, and one of the greatest cars of all time, the Carrera GT. And we turn around, we got the McLaren Senna, the Lamborghini Countach, white on white. Now, last time we were in Florida, we actually saw this at the shop. It's a Koenigsegg Special Ferrari Testarossa. This thing looks wild. The spoiler, everything, the red interior. This is like you take a crazy looking car in a Testarossa and make it even crazier. And a black 993 turbo. We just did a video driving one a few days ago, and here it is. We got another one right here. This one, however, might be a bit of a cooler spec, because I'm looking at the interior, and the interior of this one is green.
And honestly, I'm kind of surprised there's one here. I didn't think there's gonna be a type of car show for one of these, and I'm honestly guessing it's probably a manufacturer car and not a customer car, because these are having a terrible time selling, because honestly, the electric car market is doing terribly. And when that happens, nobody's gonna spend several $1,000,000 on an electric supercar, because to be honest, like, I feel like every electric supercar is kind of gonna drive the same, and the values of these are gonna plummet. Nobody's really buying them. But next to that is a McLaren Senna. Again, we reviewed one of these in the fall. That car is an absolute monster with so much personality, which is, I think, what something like this is going to lack. Then we got this black Diablo next to this matte black Pista. But here we have the 911R that we kind of followed in here to find the place, because honestly, we had no idea where the show is. We just kind of knew it's around here. Saw this and this Carrera GT ripping around, and we just followed them all the way here. But I'm seeing something very, very cool next to this Carrera GT. This is a Monterey edition Diablo SV. What the Monterey edition is, they took the Diablo SVs. I believe there's 30 cars, and Monterey Car Week, I don't even know what year, they unveiled the 30 cars all in different colors. Every single Monterey edition Diablo SV is in a different color, and I actually believe we may have seen this specific one in Monterey. Not sure if it was this exact one though. Now here's a car that honestly I feel like it's kind of been forgotten about in today's world, where everybody talks about the Murcielago SV, the LP640, the gated LP640s. People have kind of forgot the existence of the LP650, which honestly is one of my favorite variants. So 50 cars made, they are numbered, but you know something crazy. I am just seeing something right here that looks pretty cool. So these cars are numbered, and it will tell you which car your car is. And this car is number 50 out of 50, the last LP650 ever made, which probably explains this swing that I've never seen on another LP650 with the matching orange accent. I wonder if this is something Lamborghini did for the last LP650, but it is super cool to see the final Lamborghini Murcielago LP650. So here we have another Carrera GT. I believe this is number 4 or 5 Carrera GTs that's at this specific Cars and Coffee at this little parking lot, which tells you a lot about how good this event is. And all these cars are actually going to be driving down to Moda after and adding to the show field. So we're going to go see that. Probably going to see them driving. Senna GTR right here as well. I mean, this is quality cars. There's not a ton of cars here, but every car is a very, very special car. So we got a CLK Black Series. I think the only Black Series we've seen this strip, actually we've seen two. We've seen the SLS and an SL65. Now we got the CLK. And another cool car has shown up, the Spiker C8. These are so cool. Weirdly, I feel like we used to not see them. Now we're starting to see them a lot more. I don't know if that means maybe more of them are getting imported from Europe or something, but I'm actually starting to see them at every major show, even sometimes in Canada. So some more cool cars showed up. There's an Aston Martin Valor right here, matte black. We've been seeing a Valor quite often at Le Mans Detailing, the green one. Nice to see another color, but yeah, V12 manual. These things are worth gigantic money, or at least cost brand new gigantic money. Let's see what the resale value will be on these, but I do think it's a cool concept for a driver's car. I don't think there's any other manual V12 new cars left in the world, so it's cool to see that Aston Martin is still making them. Now this is, you know, McLaren Elva it's pretty cool, but it's okay, but why would you put the windshield on? I think the whole point of that car is no windshield, but I guess this way you can drive it with no helmet. Now this Dallara is super cool. The blue carbon fiber in the sun looks incredible. I forgot what this car weighs. We were talking to our buddy who's the owner of this car. He said I think it weighs like 1,800 pounds, something with 400 horsepower, manual transmission, and it's not even really doors, right? Like this doesn't open. It's kind of the roof and the windows open. You got to hop in. The interior is so sick. The seats are fixed. You cannot move them, kind of like the LaFerrari. But yeah, the manual transmission, like pretty much a racing steering wheel. This is a purebred track car. Must be an absolute blast to drive, and I know he tracks the hell out of this car. Now this is the cool thing about these car shows. Race cars on the road, Diablo SVR driven on. Holy crap, that sounded insane. But race cars driving on the street. Oh, top down in the back. We got the SLR rolling, the roof Yellowbird, CLK Black Series. I mean, they're all going right now. The event's just over there. Oh yeah, the Honda, whatever this is. Mosler. And the Countach. And police are gonna block the road for the car. That is, these guys are whipping it, these cops. Got the F8. So your boy's Koenig Special.
There we go.
Koenig Special Testarossa. 993. The terrible battery. Senna. Oh yeah, the Rebel Alto sounds pretty good. Senna, Pista. Oh, your boys are coming. The R34.
Let's go.
Man, the CGT. M1.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, look at the dedication. CGT Z8 Diablo. 2 pieces of spiders. Whoa, that could be close. GT3, the LP650, and the Monterey Edition Diablo SV 812 CLK Black Series. GT F430. Another CGT, Senna GTR. I mean, this is crazy. God, another 430. Oh, look at that. The Diablo SVR. And the 991 GT3 RS. Yes, we have the Pagani Huayra right here, Brett David. Then look at the Chiron. That looks so cool. BMF collection, Super Sport. Oh man. This is the Zonda MD. This is a car everybody wants to see. Zonda freaking MD, guys. Veyron with us. I mean, we're talking about big boys right here. SP freaking 2. Roof Yellowbird. Every car just more special than the next. SSC Tuatara. Oh my god, the Huayra Roadster. Another Huayra Roadster. Another Huayra Roadster. And guess what? There's another Huayra Roadster. Holy crap. What? I don't even know what this thing is, but it's like some one-off. This is probably worth $3 million. Another Huayra Roadster, guys. Rebel Alto. Hennessey F5. What is going on? Pininfarina. 675 LT. Then we got a 918 Spider. A yellow Chiron Pur Sport. I've never seen a lineup like this. This is insane. GT3 RS. Persangue. 812 GTS. That was a solid lineup right there. Look at the camera rig on the C63. That was a very solid lineup. Holy crap. Very good car right here. Speciale Aperta. Last naturally asked for the V8 to come out of Ferrari. That car is worth like $1 million now. It's gonna go a lot more than that. Something red is approaching, and I think we all know what it is. It is the Ed Bolian Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport. Right here. So we got the F40 and we got the Diablo GT. Now that's a hard question. What would you pick? I know your favorite car, so it's kind of like...
I think subscribers of mine will probably know I'm going for the F40. I cannot fault anybody for picking the Diablo GT though. The F40 is just such a goated car for myself. But if you go with Diablo GT, no hard feelings at all. Another great car.
Well, that's good, because I would go with the Diablo GT. So in the future, when we both hit like 2 million subscribers, you'll drive your F40, I'll drive my Diablo GT.
There you go, Moda 2030, buddy. There we go.
Let's go.
Right here.
The Diablo VT TT can never be enough T's. Twin turbo Diablo, these things are absolute monsters. We've done a video with one in Toronto. I don't know if it's this one. I'm starting to think it's not this one, but maybe it is. Twin turbo, crazy power on the Diablo. The 722S, I mean, this show is just absolutely stacked. We're gonna keep walking. This is just a little corner of it, everything here. It keeps going all the way around. So yellow speciality, Daytona Spider. I mean, this place is stacked. We saw a lot of these cars driving in, so I won't waste your time with too many of them, but the ones I think are highlights, I will definitely tell you guys more about. The Elva is a cool car. You know, I think the Monza's more my thing, but the windshield, I don't know how I feel about that, but got the Carrera GT, the Tuatara driving by. We've been seeing the Tuatara non-stop all freaking weekend. And the Valor, like, you know, manual V12. You can't hate on it. I do think it's a little overpriced, but manual V12, oh, they got the essentials. They got all the water and the snacks in the car. The Senna, I mean, it just keeps going and going and going. Oh, so the silver Black Series was at the pre-meet location, but there's also black CLK Black Series. So double CLK Black Series, what a sick car. Got an R33 right here, Pista, SP2 over there. I mean, it is wild here. This is quail level cars. The Landaulet almost looks like a staff car, so you don't even notice it. The GTX one, probably the highlight of the show for me here. I think my 3 favorite cars in the whole section right here are the GTX one, the VTTT, and of course the Zonda MD. And of course the Murcielago with the gated manual. All the Murcielagos, I think before 03, I believe, came gated manual. Then we got the SLR and the SLS, kind of, you know, very good duo right here. The mid 2000s and the 2010s. The one thing is, this car is a monster. We've driven the SS on the channel, but I feel like Mercedes kind of gets a little, I don't want to say softer because it's the absolute muscle car, but they get a little less special, more common as the supercars go on. Now we're at the AMG GT where there's a ton of them. This was a great car. There are not too many of them, especially not the Gullwings. But this, you know, this was part of the Holy Trinity of the 2000s. So this was kind of hypercar at its time. We got the 993 Turbo S here, 458, which is honestly as simple as it is. Maybe one day I will buy one because I think it's just the perfect car. It's not too much power, it's not too flashy, it's just right. Then the GT3 RS there, another GT3 RS here, the Rimac, the Rev Walto. I mean, it just keeps on going. We're in a small part of the show. More GT3 RSs, the paint the sample Carrera GT, Hennessey F5 over there. Like, I don't even know, you know, this is crazy. And then here we have the Hennessey F5. I think this is one of the only new car manufacturers, kind of more boutique, that actually makes a very cool car. I would definitely, you know, if I had the money, I would buy one of these cars. Most of the other ones, it's kind of like almost just a concept, but you know, this one is actually really cool. I think it's like 2,000 horsepower, open top. They look incredible. Then here, kind of the opposite of that. I don't think I would ever buy one of these. The Pininfarina, I don't know, electric is just not my thing for hypercars. But man, look at this, like 675 over there, we'll get to that. Rev Walto, you know, the new Aventador replacement soon. We're gonna see these everywhere with a million different variations. GT4 Lusso, probably the coolest daily you could have to actually be practical. And then next to that, I believe this is called the Ferrari SP48 from my understanding. Now, weirdly, it does very much look like an F12 generation type of car, but I think kind of by the door as well, and the interior too. Well, actually, I think it's an S something 30. Honestly, I don't really know anything about this, but apparently it's based off a 599 GTO with kind of newer looking body parts. The headlights, I believe, are either from an F12, a 458, or an FF. So they kind of like experimented with the newer parts on this older car. I really like these one-off type Ferraris. I think they're great. I think, you know, they're very unique. Nobody else makes cars like that. It's very much custom made to the owner of the car. Then we have Carrera RS and the paint to sample Carrera GT, the only one in this color. Okay, so we have here the Zonda MD. Honestly, I feel like every time I come to Florida, like, or even California, anywhere I go for big car events, everybody's hoping this car shows up. I have not seen it till today, but here it is. full blue carbon body. I gotta tell you guys, in person, the car looks even crazier than in pictures. I never noticed all the little details, and the roof scoop looks incredible. The blue carbon on the interior. This is definitely the showstopper of this year's event. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than a Zonda, and especially one like this. And behind it, you can also see a Chiron Pur Sport, a bunch of wires around. Honestly, we saw these cars driving by. At this point, guys, we've seen so many cars, like you guys can see, but there's no point getting to little details on all of those cars. And the Aston Martin Bulldog about to go on the stand. Probably the most unique looking car this entire show, but what a cool car. We saw for the first time at Car Week this year. This thing is so sick. So here we have our buddy Gabe's 40th anniversary Murcielago. All came in gated, all came in this color, exactly the same spec. What a badass car. Gabe, you have a good taste in cars. Okay, so here for the load up of some cars. Pretty interesting because we got an absolutely mint 300 SL Roadster with this barn find 300 SL Roadster. Two of the same, but very much not the same. Look at how pristine this interior is. Then we walk over to the barn find and look at this interior, and honestly, this is the cooler car out of the two for freaking sure. And you cannot have the Roadsters without the gull wing. We got a pretty perfect gull wing right here, even with the luggage set in the back. All three of these cars have a red interior. The white here looks so cool with the white accents on the interior as well. Doors partially open, but the back end of these cars looks so good. These are just some of the best looking cars ever made. I think if I had to say top two, this and a Lamborghini Huayra, best looking cars ever made. And the silver Ferrari Enzo, so nice. New Countach. Pretty good two cars here. We have the CLK Black Series and the R33. We already know 6 cars would choose the R33, but for me, I gotta say, definitely all day long, the Black Series. This is an absolute monster.